On May 7, 2021, my daughter came to visit me from another state. There was an unauthorized car in my driveway. She alerted me to that fact, and I told her I didn't know whose car it was. She called the police as well as I, because there's a long history of me being harassed by my white neighbors. The police come out. I asked for them to have that car towed. It didn't belong on my property. I was told that they could not because it was private property. I go inside. My daughter tells me that directly in front of me, my neighbor and his two guests came out and they moved the car. After the police leaves, my neighbor charges over to my house like a bat out of hell. I tell my daughter that he's charging, he's coming over. She tells me to stay in. She runs out, shoots up in the air to warn him. He tries to get in. He states that he's sick and tired of me calling the police on him. And he said something about I was not going to have that car towed and that he was going to kill me. My daughter tried to keep him from getting in my house. She said he actually ran up the stairs into the house. Now, the police charged her with felony assault 2 counts. His girlfriend lied and said my daughter tried to shoot her, which was a lie. She never came on my property. She stayed across the street watching Dalton Carter and yelling at him to come back. My daughter shot up in the air to warn him to get off our property because we were fearful of our life. I felt that this was a game tactic because they put that car there. They thought I was in the house by myself. I'm 70. I'm handicapped. And they were going to come in and harm me and take over my car, take over my house. That's what I was thinking. The police did nothing to Dalton. My daughter was jailed and given a bond of $350,000. $35,000 is 10%. She needs attorney fees and desperate hope to get out of jail because this is not fair. What she did was self-defense to preserve her mother's life and her own life. And this is very discriminatory. If I had been a white woman and there had been a black man whose guests parked in my driveway, and after the car was moved by his 2 black guests, he charged across the street on my property, and I'm a white woman, and my white daughter shoots and kills him. The police would have said there was a justifiable homicide because that poor elderly a woman was frightened for her life, and her daughter acted in her behalf to protect her mother. But because I'm black, and because my daughter's black, she's been charged with trying to kill the perpetrator, Dalton Carter, whose friends placed their car in my lot. And he charged us and made us frightened for our lives. We're human too. We never touched his property. He did this. It was malicious and deliberate attempt to intimidate me and kill me because he was screaming. He was sick and tired of me calling the police. Now in the past I have called the police on him because him and his girlfriend fight all the time. I had a daughter that was murdered by a man that had a temper like Dalton. And after she was murdered, I promised myself that if I could prevent any other woman from being murdered, I would. So when I have seen him beat his girlfriend, I call the police. One time he was beating her so hard, she tried to get out the car. He pulled her back in and drove off with her. And I called the police. He said he was sick and tired of me doing that. What's wrong with the picture? He's free. My daughter's confined in jail, in Atlantic Castus Jail. Her name is Obioma Chukwuka Njokama. Her ID number is 880294. We desperately need help. My name is Kathy Patterson. These racial discriminatory injustices, they need to stop. But the only way they will stop is if we all fight. That means black people, white people, Asian people, all Mexican people, all fight together to stop it. So will you please help me?